next speaker is Mr. Elvis Henry Bulllard. He was born in Black Point, South Andros, an Androsian boy. He attended South Andros Primary School and Senior School. After graduating from high school, he relocated to Nassau and joined the Royal Bahamas Defence Force as a Marine recruit. He rose up the rank to become a Chief Petty Officer. Then, at that time, during his matriculation through the force, he was stationed on several patrol crafts, where he sailed actively for several years. Eventually, he was stationed at Coral Harbor Base, where he worked in administration, military operation platoon, operations center, supplies, and accounts department. Mr. Bulllard began his academic pursuits where he attended Bahamas Technical and Vocational Institute, also known as BTVI, where he received certificates in carpentry, tile laying, electrical installation. Upon completion, he attended Success Training College, where he received an associate degree, excuse me, in business administration in 2008. In 2014, he attended the United States Coast Guard Academy, where he studied and successfully graduated in leadership and management, and was commissioned as a commissioned officer in the Royal Bahamas Defence Force. Presently, he is a senior lieutenant and served as the Welfare, Morale, and Reservist Unit Officer in charge of responsibility for the welfare concerns of active service members, retired veterans, and their families. He is married with 4 boys, an active member, and serve as an active member of 5 Porches Deliverance Center. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together, your virtual hands together, and let us welcome Senior Lieutenant Elvis Bulllard, who will be speaking on the topic, Building a Strong Foundation for a Safer Bahamas. Mr. Bulllard.
Good afternoon, sir. Thank you, and a pleasant good afternoon to all. It is certainly good to be here to be able to participate in this virtual seminar. The theme chosen is a very timely one, breaking out of silos, creating a safer, peaceful, and productive society. This year, the Royal Bahamas Defence Force will be celebrating 41 years of protecting and defending the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. Our theme for this year, Pursuit of Excellence, Guarding Our Heritage. The topic I have chosen is Building a Strong Foundation for a Safer Bahamas. The objectives is to enlighten you as we discuss the strategic vision, mission, motto, and mandate of the Royal Bahamas Defence Force. We will discuss or identify instruments of authority, maritime threats against a safe Bahamas, Royal Bahamas Defence Force duties, Royal Bahamas Defence Force powers, major challenges, the national security goal, the Royal Bahamas Defence Force strategy for building a strong foundation for a safer Bahamas, Commander of the Defence Force command priorities, building a strong foundation for a safer Bahamas on strategic organization pillars. We'll talk about the Rangers program, the importance of Royal Bahamas Defence Force officers displaying core values in their communities as we continue to build a strong foundation for a safer Bahamas. I see a force which will not only safeguard our sovereignty and independence, but will also rescue lives at sea. A force which not only will keep out poachers and smugglers, but will man our lighthouses and watch our seashores. A force not only will help to keep the peace, but will also supply food and emergency relief to an island community ravaged by disastrous hurricane, or take needed medical services to isolated communities. A force which not only will exemplify discipline, but will also exemplify the same by example in our communities, whether they may help to repair schools, roads, and drains. In other words, fellow delegates, I see a people defense force, which fits totally with our philosophy of development dedicated to progress with self-reliance and further helps us to tighten up and toughen up. These words were spoken by the late Sir Lyndon Oscar Pinling on the 28th of October, 1975, as he addressed a delegation. Let's look at our objectives. We will discuss the strategic vision, mission, and mandate of the Royal Bahamas Defence Force. Our motto, guard our heritage. We will identify RBDF duties for a safer Bahamas. We will speak about the authority to enforce these powers. We will identify some challenges as we continue to build a strong foundation for a safer Bahamas. Let me give you a little history of the Royal Bahamas Defence Force. The Royal Bahamas Defence Force became an official entity by an Act of Parliament on the 31st of March, 1980, falling under the Ministry of National Security. Under the Defense Act, the RBDF has been mandated to defend the Bahamas, protect its territorial integrity, patrol its waters, provide assistance in times of disaster, perform search and rescue duties at sea, maintain law and order in conjunction with other law enforcement agencies such as the Royal Bahamas Police Force, the Bahamas Customs, the Bahamas Immigration, the Bahamas Department of Corrections, and many other government agencies and non-governmental agencies such as BREEF, Bahamas Reef Environmental Educational Foundation, and the Bahamas National Trust, just to name a few. Let me tell you a little bit about BREEF. The Bahamas Reef Environment was founded in 1993. It's a non-profit government foundation. Its mission is to promote the conservation of the Bahamas, the marine environment, through quality experimental education and outreach programs so that people can appreciate the value of our seas and their beauty. What is the Bahamas National Trust? It is a nonprofit organization that manages 32 national parks throughout the Bahamas. The national park systems protect many unique features, such as critical habitats and endangered species. Oftentimes, people would try to enter these parks because of the abundance of marine life that's available. Various species of fishes can be found and an abundance of coral reefs. As a result, the RBDF would have law enforcement officers present to ensure that these parks are protected for the sustainability of marine life for generations yet unborn. Let me tell you now about the strategic vision. Every commander of the Defense Force has a strategic vision they would wish to accomplish during their tenure as they continue to build on a foundation for a safer Bahamas. Our present Commodore, Dr. Raymond King, his focus vision is to develop and maintain a professional, high-performance workforce with a strong emphasis on performing excellent. The performance workforce criteria are competent. That's continuous training and development with the use of technology, strengthening and maintaining ethical standards, corporate and social responsibility through collaboration. The performance excellence would be results attained, research focused to enhance performance, continuous improvement for greater efficiency. The performance workforce involves the cultivation of an inclusive work environment where service members are involved in the management and execution of the Defense Force operations to enhance camaraderie, team spirit, and synergy. Workforce empowerment, the involvement of all service members to achieve shared responsibility with the tenets of accountability, exercising authority and responsibility. Continued pursuit of advanced technology and innovation in order to fulfill the passion within the organization, human capital. To work in tandem with local and international agencies, such as the Royal Bahamas Police Force, Bahamas Customs, Bahamas Immigration, Fisheries Inspector, and our international partners. Let me tell you now about the Royal Bahamas Defence Force mission: to defend the sovereignty of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, assist with maintaining law and order, and perform humanitarian tasks in conjunction with local and international partners for a safer Bahamas. Let's look at the Royal Bahamas Defence Force motto: guard our heritage. This would be accomplished through recruitment of young men and women from islands throughout the Bahamas, the patrolling of our archipelago by air and sea, the protection of our marine resources, such as our fisheries product, our aragonite, and our coral reefs that serve as an attraction for our visiting tourists and Bahamian residents. let me expand on our motto. The Bahamas is an archipelago with over 1,000 rocks, islands, and keys, with about 100,000 square miles of water to patrol. About 20 of these islands are inhabited. The recruitment of young men and women from these islands are a morale booster and an encouragement for many youngsters to become motivated to enlist in the Royal Bahamas Defence Force. At times, when our patrol crafts and aircrafts visit our family islands, the ship crew would perform community service such as cleaning the environment and painting the homes of the less fortunate in the community. Or they may visit schools and assist with physical education, or they may assist the community in partaking of wholesome activities. Oftentimes, this would serve as a recruitment drive, as an incentive for young men and women, especially when officers and Marines would be given an opportunity to speak to these young men and women about the importance of achieving an education or the reasons why they should not get involved with drugs, gangs, and other negative acts that can destroy or harm their personal lives, their community, their social way of life, and negatively affect their livelihood. Many times, the young men and women would be lectured and giving vital information on how they should conduct themselves as young men and women to be seen as role models in their community. They would be informed about the importance of taking care of their environment and the reason why they should observe the fisheries laws pertaining to the closed seasons of various marine life and the adverse effect it can have on their livelihood. Let's look at the instruments of authority. The Royal Bahamas Defence Force performs its duties under the instrument of authority as directed by the National Security Council. The Prime Minister, the Most Honorable Dr. Hubert A. Minnis, is the National Security Council Chairman. These instruments of authority include, but are not limited to, maintenance of navigational aids for the safety of our sea lanes, detention center security, diplomatic security, ceremonial duties, and others that were mentioned in my earlier remarks. Let's look at Royal Bahamas Defence Force duties and powers. The Royal Bahamas Defence Force is primarily an armed service whose roles encompasses that of a Coast Guard as well as a disaster relief agency. Therefore, members of the Royal Bahamas Defence Force are empowered to carry out duties such as military operations. We also assist many other agencies like the Royal Bahamas Police Force, and that's to detect drugs and firearms trafficking. Bahamas Customs as we detect smuggled goods and weapons at sea. Bahamas Immigration to detect human trafficking, human smuggling, apprehension of migrants, and secure illegal migrants at the detention center facilities wherever they may be in the Bahamas. We act as fisheries inspector to detect poaching and violators of our marine laws. We also assist in emergency rescue operations. The National Emergency Management Agency, known as NEMA, in the event of an emergency. Disaster relief management. This reality was evident during the passage of several hurricanes, and in particular, killer Hurricane Dorian in September 2019. Many stories were told about brave Royal Bahamas Defence Force officers and Marines who risked their lives to assist many residents in Abaco and Freeport, who was in grave danger due to the effects of Hurricane Dorian fury. Maritime threats against a safe Bahamas, such as arms smuggling, human smuggling, illegal migration, drug smuggling, poaching, human trafficking, and disaster mitigation. Let's look at some of the major challenges that can affect a safe Bahamas. The Royal Bahamas Defence Force has the awesome task of patrolling about 100,000 square miles of territorial waters that consist of more than 1,000 islands, rocks, and keys, with a distance of about 600 miles. Our territorial boundaries covers a distance between Puerto Rico in the Northern Caribbean and the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago in the south. When added together, the combined distance of the Bahamas is approximately 2,200 miles, second to that of the Republic of Cuba, creating an enormous border that is difficult to monitor. However, it's the mandate of the Royal Bahamas Defence Force to optimize use of all available technology and resources to accomplish its mission, to keep the Commonwealth of the Bahamas safe and secure. According to the Prime Minister, the Most Honorable Dr. Hubert Minnis, who is the chairman of the Security Council, he said the government of the Bahamas firmly believes that it's the right of every citizen to thrive and work in a safe environment that's secure. We believe that crime is a societal and not a political problem. Hence, we are committed to collaborating and working with all community partners, parents, educators, church leaders, social workers, all government, non-government agencies, and non-profit organizations. The Honorable Mr. Marvin Dames, the Minister of National Security, said, our strategy will involve the use of the latest state-of-the-art technology to identify and successfully combat the root of all crime. our focus will be on prevention, deterrence enforcement, rehabilitation, and reintegration. Let us examine our national security goal. The goal of the government is to secure our maritime boundaries and prevent poaching of our marine resources, the influx of illegal migrants, illegal drugs, and other contrabands, including firearms, that can negatively affect a safe Bahamas. The government is committed to ensuring that the RBDF is trained and equipped to fully meet its mandate to protect our national borders. The RBDF objective is to deter, deny, and detect all adversaries while maintaining a global network with national, regional, and international counterparts in the fight against national and transnational criminal activity as the RBDF continues to build on a strong foundation for a safer Bahamas. Let's pay attention to the Royal Bahamas Defence Force strategy for building a stronger foundation for a safer Bahamas, as mandated by Commander of the Defence Force, Commodore Dr. Raymond King. To guard our heritage with increased technology, continued security cooperation with all relevant local and international partners, continuous training, decentralized operations. I'm pleased to say that the decentralized operation has already begun, and we have strategically stationed crafts and manpower in a position that they're able to respond and defend the Bahamas. We will educate and empower Royal Bahamas Defence Force personnel so that they can play a greater role in their community through their interaction and information sharing, strategic recruitment exercise, intelligence-driven operation, greater cooperation with non-government agencies such as Brief, Hands for Hunger, civic organizations, and the Bahamas National Trust, just to name a few. Let's look at the Commander of the Defence Force priorities. The welfare, morale, and spiritual needs of servicemen and women and their families, reservists and their immediate family, retired Royal Bahamas Defence Force personnel and their immediate families, armed act civilian staff and their immediate family is a priority for the Commander of the Defence Force. Commander of the Defence Force, Commodore King, has taken a proactive approach with the implementation of a welfare office with competent, qualified staff and an appointed welfare officer working in conjunction with the Royal Bahamas Defence Force chaplain and the Royal Bahamas Defence Force medical doctor and his team to adequately address the needs of the Royal Bahamas Defence Force family who may be facing unusual challenges. The Welfare Office is also mandated to provide professional help through counseling visitation, and ensuring that all the family needs are met. We are further mandated to touch the lives of the RBDF members, reservists, and retirees through hearing, caring, and sharing in a compassionate manner. To transform the organization culture and the command climate to one of inclusiveness. Values or the reinforcement of the Royal Bahamas Defence Force ethos of military discipline, military traditions, and military customs. Organizational restructuring to achieve the ideal force design of the administration. Mission readiness of our human capital. Material readiness of our air, land, and sea assets ready to defend. Appreciation of workplace diversity and generational differences. Let's look at how we can build a strong foundation for a safer Bahamas on strategic organization pillars. Organizational transformation, that's the development of a professional, high-performance workforce. Focus on performance excellence. Organization agility, the enhancement of the organization's flexibility and responsiveness to a dynamic security environment via strategic recruitment, exercises, continuous training, and development of resource acquisition. Organization decentralization, deployment of air, land, and sea assets throughout the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. Organization sustainment with emphasis on talent management, succession planning, national youth development, and the revitalization of our reserves unit. Organization conservation to educate the public, especially the youths, of the importance of protection, of sustainment of our national resources. Let's look at our RBDF Rangers program. The Rangers program has been in existence for about 23 years. The Royal Bahamas Defence Force has committed to develop and care for these young leaders and empower them through character building, discipline, and a sense of national duty. The program is successfully operated in more than 50 schools throughout the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, with more than 1,200 active Rangers. The Ranger program has gained national attention and has been praised by national leaders for their positive involvement in the communities. Let me just mention one of those persons who has done a tremendous job as a young man in setting a good example for young people in this country. And I'm talking about the Honorable Mr. Travis Robinson, the Member of Parliament for Baintown, who is also the Minister of State for Tourism and also a former Ranger. The Rangers continued to make their positive impact throughout the communities of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. Let us look at the importance of the Royal Bahamas Defence Force core values as we continue to build a strong foundation for a safer Bahamas. The core values are defined as strong foundational principles and standards such as character, culture, competency, integrity. These core values are centered around the organization's principles, policies, procedures, passion, and the pride of our people. It is the commander of the Defence Force intent that these core values would create change mindset, positive attitudes, and character development so that our nation will continue moving forward, upward, onward together as we build a strong foundation for a safer Bahamas. Thank you for this time.
Thank you very much, Senior Lieutenant Bullard. I must say that was very informative. Let me say that the Royal Bahamas Defence Force has been very instrumental working out of the silos for years since the National Lead Institute would have been founded. We have had tremendous support from the Royal Bahamas Defence Force and its commodores, going back from Commodore Bow, Commodore Scavala, this current Commodore, tremendous support. And last year, January, he would have sent at least 10 of his officers to be certified in trauma treatment when we had it at the Cancer Society. And when COVID came and Lead started to offer, let's talk about mental health, we had Senior Lieutenant Bullard and his team, Chief Petty Officer Roll, Eunice Roll and others, and John Ingram and those who participated in our forum, as well as she's now retired, Chief Petty Officer Frederica Clark King. And many of them participated in our workshops, our seminars, our conferences. So I must say the RBDF has worked out of silos to help create a safer, more peaceful and productive society.